Well, good morning. I'm David Combe with the CBS AM Debrief. It's Thursday, the 3rd of February, just coming up to 8:30 a.m. and overnight market action. In the US, we had the market ending up largely close to its starting point, but during the session apparently did rally up, but that sort of gave up those gains there. So you can see here we ended up closing at 12,042. So that's about half an hour ago we had the close there. A little bit down across the broader spread of the S&P 500 at 1,304, down 0.27, and NASDAQ again almost near the flat line there at 0.04% down. Mexico up nearly 1%, and Toronto down 0.24%. Brazil down 1.71%. The situation in Europe, a little bit of a mixed bag. FTSE up 0.71, CAC down 0.15, and DAX down just 0.01. So really not too much sort of a theme here. Obviously, we've got the situation continuing to worsen in Egypt, and that actually did see some US dollar buying. There are investors looking for the safety there of the US dollar. Let's move down here and have a little look at what the futures are suggesting for our part of the world. SPY 200 here at just 2 points up, so very little expectation here today if you look at the futures here. The Hang Seng, though, much stronger, showing up 489, and the Nikkei 225 pointing down 20 points. So take a look at the commodities, most of which were up. If we look down here, lumber was the, not actually true, lumber and soybean meal were the only fallers. We're coming back up to our energies here, with natural gas at $4.42, West Texas Intermediate at $90.95, and then we move down through the softs to see cotton up 2.32, wheat up 3.26, and sugar, big move there. Now that's I believe it's the highest price it's ever been. I have to check that. But yeah, you can see here 3.98%, huge move, 35.31 cents per pound there. Another big move was oats, and then we have copper at a all-time high, $4.55 3/4, and tin was the other big move. We're not seeing that here. That was another record there, I understand. Gold 13.37 was off a little bit, and silver 28.34, also down slightly. Currencies, as mentioned, some US dollar strength coming through, so that saw the the euro buying slightly less, 1.3807 US dollars. The pound was actually buying a little bit more, 1.6188, and the US dollar buying 81.5410 Japanese yen, and the Aussie buying slightly less here, just above parity, 1.0087 US dollars, and the US dollar buying 0.98 or 98.79 Canadian, and the US dollar buying 0.9404 Swiss francs. Let's have a look now at the economic calendar here. We do have some employment change numbers out here out of the US earlier on this morning. 187,000 was the number. Expectation for 140, so a further indication there that the picture is improving. Very shortly we have New Zealand employment numbers out. 0.2 is the expectation there, previous 1%. So a little bit of a gain there. Unemployment rate 6.5, previous 6.4, so a little bit of a pickup there in unemployment anticipated. Australian trade balance 1.6 billion, previous 1.925. Then we've got some non-manufacturing PMI data out of China, and sales data, trade balance out of Switzerland, some German purchasing managers index numbers, going through to some similar numbers out of the UK, retail sales out of the Eurozone, and a rates decision for Europe with 1% expected to be kept at that rate. Of course, going into Friday night, being the first Friday of the month, we have the non-farm payrolls numbers out of the US and the unemployment rate. Expectation there, 135,000 new jobs, 103 last month rather. So there'll be some anticipation there for that number. Okay, let's take a look at the Falcon Trader here. I'll just follow up on a couple of trades we were looking at. Here's the simulation account for those vector-vest trades that were put on in 3 markets, Hong Kong, US and Australia. And we're still at around 207,000 on that one. Okay, that's the US dollar index. It does actually look like that little bit of a rally has kind of ended here, and we continue in this downtrend at my eye. But anyway, one thing I wanted to point out here is Casbar Resources. They're sitting on a very high grade, quite large tin resource, and with those supply issues pushing the price of tin and copper up, we're seeing a nice little push up here from around this low 30-cent level to close at 37.5 cents yesterday. So sort of wouldn't be surprised perhaps to see that that start to push up here towards the low 40-cent level. So maybe that's one to watch. Clearly broken up above these recent little highs here, and should be pretty well supported by that tin price. So keep an eye on that one. That's only tradable as a stock in the Falcon Trader. It's not yet available as a CFD. It's still quite a low cap. I think it's about 20 million low cap stock. Value hasn't really been fully appreciated at this point. And just to follow up on the one that I mentioned on Tuesday is Medusa, which I think I said with a little bit of help from gold prices should push up. So we did see that bottom here as I suspected, and I think that's put on around 5% in the meantime. So quite happy with that one. And what else to follow up on here? I know excuse me, Caltex did initially disappoint there, but ultimately it did hold that trend line here when I mentioned it, I think a week or so back, and it does appear to be doing what I hoped. Got stopped out on that one. That's unfortunate. Just looking at what else there was here to follow up. I'll have a quick look at the Aussie index here, and then perhaps finish up. Okay, so just continue to be trading here in this range with the Aussie, with that level of 48.30 to the upside being the potential breakout area, and then 47.20 to the downside being the one to watch for a potential leg lower on our index. Okay, so I think that I'll just wrap that up here. As always, thanks for your attention, and till next time, bye for now.